Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Lukenessmonster. Today we're going to be talking about the top 10 most underrated Black Series figures. Now this is actually a part 2 to this list because I made a part 1 probably about like 2 or 3 years ago now. So if you do want to check that one out, it'll be pinned in the card and linked in the description. And so none of the figures on that original list will be on this one. This will be another 10 Black Series figures that I personally think are severely underrated. Really quick though, we are giving away this Black Series Phase 1 Clone Trooper at 17,000 subscribers. And right now we're just a little over 1,000 subscribers away, which is amazing. So thank you guys so much for the support. If you do want a chance to win, all you have to do is 1, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. And 2, once we do hit 17,000 subscribers, I'll post a giveaway video and all you have to do is comment on that giveaway video to enter. At the number 10 spot, I think I have to give it to the Black Series Imperial Probe Droid. This is easily one of the most underrated Black Series figures, and it doesn't get nearly enough credit as it deserves. The articulation on this thing is crazy. Each one of its little arms has like a little joint on it, and each one of those joints is like individually articulated. Like there's so many different points of articulation on this guy, it's crazy. The paint apps look amazing. There's a lot of nice like rust and weathering effects on this guy. I think the sculpt is just amazing. I absolutely love what they did with the design for this. I think it looks like it's straight out of the movie. It's one of those cooler droids that we do get from Star Wars, and it's nice to see it in figure form here. And plus, I also just love the flight stand that it has with that like snowy Hoth base. Overall, it all just comes together to be one of the coolest figures that we've gotten in the line, and it was also the first ever Black Series Deluxe figure. But unfortunately, it doesn't get nearly enough credit because it's just so good. At the number 9 spot, I gave it to the Republic Commando Battle Droid. This one is definitely a niche figure because it's for a very niche select group of fans, specifically fans who played Republic Commando. Being one of those fans, I absolutely love this design for the battle droid. It's one of the coolest designs, more of like this like rugged, run-down battle droid, but I really like how it looks. This is what it looks like in the game, and so, as you can see, it's definitely not a one-to-one recreation of it. I do think that the one in the game has this more of like a silvery metallic effect than the one that we got for the figure, but regardless, I just have such a nostalgic connection to this design that I had to put it on the most underrated figure list because nobody talks about this figure. And that's probably just because the battle droid mold that we have is so bad, the sculpt sucks, and we desperately needed a new one, and I think because of that, this figure suffers because inherently it's not a good figure, but I love the design for it, and he looks great next to all the Republic Commando figures on the shelf, so this one has got to go at the number 9 spot. At the number 8 spot, I had to give it to the Sabine Wren figure, and this is specifically from the Ahsoka show. This figure blew my mind when I first got it because I was not expecting it to be so good. The articulation and the sculpting are amazing. It has pretty much everything you'd want from a modern Black Series figure. It has butterfly joints, 90 degrees at the elbows, the knees. Like really, it is just a dang good figure when it comes to articulation. A completely pinless look all the way around with just some killer paint apps on all of the figure. Sabine is known for her like brightly painted and colorful armor, and they really went all out for that on this figure. They also painted both of her blasters a different color, and they gave her Ezra's lightsaber, which is like just super cool. It's one of those accessories that I didn't think they needed to include, but they did, and I'm glad they did. But really, the best part of this figure is the face sculpt. The likeness of the actress is just amazing. It's one of the best likenesses we've ever gotten in the Black Series, and not enough people talk about it. I don't understand why this figure is so underrated, but it's just so good. Coming in at the number 7 spot, I had to give it to the Black Series Commander Appo figure. This is essentially just a 501st Trooper based off of the Kenobi flashback scenes, and this is one of my favorite designs for a clone trooper of all time. I really love the 501st design, and honestly, this is one of the most accurate blue colors that we have ever gotten for a 501st, but I understand that's the main reason why a lot of people don't like it, is that it doesn't match any of the other 501st Troopers we got in the line, because that is like the Filoni Clone Wars blue, and this is more accurate to Revenge of the Sith. So I do understand why this figure is disliked by so many people, but it is just so good, and it is one of the most accurate Black Series figures we've gotten to Revenge of the Sith. Plus, it is on that 2023 clone body, which means it has all of the best articulation, and to be honest, the best articulation you get from any clone trooper out there right now, so... Plus, of course, it does have that removable helmet as well. Overall, it's just a really dang good figure, and I don't believe it deserves all of the hate that it gets, just because the blue is accurate to the show and not to the rest of the 501st we have in the line. The number 6 spot, I gave it to Jedi Master Sol from the Acolyte. And this is one of those figures I understand the hate, and I understand why he's underrated, just because people didn't really like the show, and so because of that, they aren't going and buying the figures. But I gotta say, this is a fantastic figure. Hasbro seems to go all out when it comes to figures from new media like TV shows like The Acolyte or The Mandalorian, even the Ahsoka show. Hasbro goes all out on these figures, and the Acolyte figure here, Sol, is no exception. He does have a completely brand new Jedi body with great articulation, a completely pinless look all around, and he does come with the Jedi robe, which is something that most Jedi don't come with nowadays, which is a big shame. But yeah, he looks great. I think the face sculpt is amazing. The lightsaber's cool. I love the gauntlet sculpts for the wrists and the hands. Overall, it is just a really cool looking Jedi figure, regardless of what you think about the character. He is a really dang good figure, and so I understand if you don't like the character, but regardless, he'd be a good background Jedi, so I do think this one is definitely underrated. At the number 5 spot, we have Padawan Jackie Lon, and this is for the exact same reasons as Sol. She is a really dang good figure. Again, from the Acolyte, which I know a lot of people don't like, but this is a completely brand new Jedi body, specifically like a smaller Padawan body, which is the first time we've really ever gotten that in the Black Series, and they really knocked it out of the park with it. She also does come with her own Jedi robe, again, something that most Jedi don't come with. And overall, she's just a really cool, like, alien Jedi figure. Hasbro really knocks it out of the park when it comes to alien figures. You have your Kit Fisto, your Plo Koon, your Ki-Adi-Mundi, and Jackie here is no exception to that. The paint apps are amazing, the likeness is great, the pinless look is something that we expect for most Black Series figures nowadays, and so the pinless look is amazing. Overall, this is just a really dang good Black Series figure. And to be honest, if people liked the show more, I guarantee this figure would be a whole lot harder to get your hands on and would be a whole lot more popular, but because people don't like the show, she's severely underrated. At the number 4 spot, I had to give it to General Hera Syndulla. This is, again, specifically the Ahsoka version of Hera. And I gotta say, this one really surprises me how underrated she is. I know a lot of people have a certain attachment to the original Rebels figure, and I completely get that. It's her basic design from Rebels that she has for pretty much the entire show, and so I understand that her old figure and old design is iconic, but this figure is arguably better in every single way. The articulation is so much better, it's a completely pinless look, the face sculpt actually resembles a real person and not like this mishmash of like animated and realistic. It actually looks like a real person and it just looks really good. I do understand that a whole lot of people didn't really like the adaptation from animated to live action, and I do understand that it is personal preference, but me personally, I loved the actress in Ahsoka. I thought she knocked it out of the park. She was just like Hera to me, and so because of that, I really have no problem at all with this figure, and it's one of my favorite ones from the Ahsoka show. It's severely underrated. At the number 3 spot, I gave it to a little bit more of a niche character, and that is Q90 from Season 1 of The Mandalorian. And this figure is a really, really dang good figure. But yeah, everything about this figure is just like really good. He's on this really solid like protocol droid body. The articulation is really good. I think the paint apps are what really shine on this figure. He's got this like rusty like wash all over the figure and it just comes out really cool. I love the rust effects on this guy. I love the kind of like harness with the holster. I think that looks great. I think I really like the bug-eyed protocol droid head. That's something that we haven't really gotten before and I love how this one looks. Overall, I just think this is a top tier figure that really doesn't get any credit because the character is really niche. I understand that he was really only in like 1 or 2 episodes of The Mandalorian and he didn't have a huge role in it, and so I understand why he's niche, but like he's a cool figure and I wish the figure got more credit for being good because it's really good. The number 2 spot, I gave it to the Tibidon Station Obi-Wan Kenobi, also known as Blue Shirt Ben, whatever you want to call him. This figure is really underrated, and that's really just because this is one of his niche outfits from a show where he's got like 6 or 7 different looks throughout the entire show, and there are just much better looks for him. But this one is really good. I love the blue shirt that contrasts with like the brown pants. I think that color contrast goes really, really good together. But I love the cloak. I think this like, it's like almost like a mix of a cape and a cloak, but it just looks really cool on him. And then that paired with like the backpack satchel that comes with him, which is unfortunately not in any of these photos. It's just such a cool kind of like scavenger Obi-Wan look for the character. And it's definitely just a little different, and it's something that I really like about this version of him. It's just a little different, and I like it. And that's just one of the reasons why I wish this guy got more credit, because it's one of the most iconic characters in all of Star Wars, but with some different cool designs like this, and it's just nice to see him in different outfits. Really quick though, if you made it this far into the video, it means you're probably a big fan of the channel, so let me tell you about our Black Series channel membership giveaways. For the month of March, we're going to be giving away this Emperor Palpatine figure for our standard members, and this Captain Enoch and Night Trooper 2-pack for our premium members. Anybody who joins during the month of March will automatically be entered to win, so all you have to do is make sure to go down and hit that join button down below. At the number 1 spot, I gave it to the Mandalorian Privateer, and this is just because I think this figure severely flew under the radar, and that's mainly because everybody recently has been having their blue Mandalorian fatigue, or just Mandalorian fatigue in general. Hasbro's been pumping out Mandalorian character after Mandalorian character, and a lot of them are just unnamed, random blue Mandos like this one. And so this one kind of just flew under the radar because everybody's like, oh, it's just another blue Mandalorian. But this guy's character design is peak. The bright blue armor paired with the dark gray undersuit and the brown belt and accents on it, it just complements each other so well. This is one of the best designs for Mandalorian armor we've ever gotten in the Black Series, and nobody really talks about it. He's just got such a cool character design, and unfortunately because of that Mandalorian fatigue, nobody talks about him, and I think he's severely underrated because he's one of the best Mandalorian figures we've gotten in the entire line. That is going to do it for our top 10 list. If you guys did enjoy, make sure to go down, hit that like button, subscribe, and leave a comment down below what you guys think the top 10 most underrated Black Series figures are. That's going to do it for this one though, so I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.